You just need to keep in your mind which function we need to use it. So you can see when I press this dot in this string Java programming, you can see lot of functions are available, right? In yesterday class also I've explained you same thing. If you want to check any function, you can easily select the function and you can find it out what operation they will going to do it, right? So there are different kind of functions are available. Let me check it with this is empty function. This is blank function, what they will going to do when you use this is blank function, they will going to check whether your string variable b is blank or is it having an element. So now you see this. Sorry, 1 minute. So you see this here. What is the value of this b variable? Let me take it as a akshara. And here you can see b is blank. Okay, so when you will going to run this, it will either print true or false. Based on what? Based on it will check whether you have an element on that variable or not, whether that variable is holding any value or not. So let me run this and show you some more functions here. So you can see here when we run this, it is printing false here. Why it is printing false? You can find it out from the bottom also. From the bottom third one. So you can see here it is false. Why it is false? Because b is not an empty. It is having a variable, right? So let me remove that element from here and try it once again. Okay, sorry. Exception. Okay, sorry. I think okay, let me take it one. Let me run this once again. Actually, that was an error due to some because I removed each element. Okay, just give a minute. Let me take it this and run this. There is some error is coming. Let me check it where actually it is giving Java lang string index out of bond exception in which it is keeping b is empty. Okay, let me try on another program. I think I have run a lot of programs here. So because of that, it is giving an error that string index out of bond exception. Means here, this string is not able to take further execution of the instruction because I have executed too many operation on the same variable. So let me run on the another code. Okay, no issue. We have another one. So let me declare one more variable string a is equal to akshara. String b is equal to snigdha. Okay. Now I wanted to check whether b is having element or what. So let me run this. So it is showing you false. Do you know the reason why it is showing you false? Because it is checking whether b is blank or what. But b is not a blank. Blank in the sense here you have an element on this b variable, right? Are you getting? Is it? Are you getting right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, this blank function will going to just check whether this b variable is having element or what. Okay. Similarly, you can try with another function that is called c. C is one variable, or sorry, a is one variable, and here I will going to use is empty one. So here you can see there is one more function is empty. Is empty function, they what they do, it will going to return true if and only if length is 0. It means that if you don't have any element, then it will going to print true. Otherwise, it will going to return false. Okay. So let me try it. So you can check it. Both are giving false because it is neither blank and it is not an empty. Let me remove the element and try it. Now you can see it. B is blank is giving you true. Why? Because it is blank. You don't have anything here. That's why it is true. Means it is just checking is blank means is string variable B is blank. So it means that its string variable B is blank. So you see that yes, B variable doesn't having any element. So so here B is also the blank. Okay. So let me try with this one also A and check whether it is giving you is empty. So is empty function, what they do, they also do the same thing. They will also going to return true if and only if the length is 0, means you don't have any element in that. So I will going to run the same. It is similar to the trim and strip function. Yesterday we have seen that the trim and strip function both are doing the same, right? Trim function, what they were doing, this trim function and this strip function, they are both removing the leading and trailing edge. There is one more function that is called trim trim, that is also doing that only. They remove the leading and trailing space. So here also this is blank or is empty function, they also work in the same way and they will going to check it. There are a lot of functions are available. I will going to show you one by one all those. So you can see here there are a lot of functions are available. I have shown you only few of them. There is one function caret we have seen. There is one more function code point at, will going to return the Unicode of a character at specify index. Let's try this. So just you need to use this system out print b dot. Now once you put the dot, it will going to see code pointer. Okay. Now you pass the index. Okay, let's take 0 itself. By default it is coming 0. So let's see it. Okay, it is giving a error in that. Let me take it with 1. Oh, okay, sorry. Actually, we don't have any element here. That's why it is giving. Let me add an element. Means value to the variable a and b. That is string value. I'm assigning here this string value, a group of character to this variable a and b. And let's try it. So you see it is giving 83. What do you mean by this 83? 83, it means that the index 0 of this b variable s will have a Unicode 83. Okay. It, as I yesterday I have explained you, right, what is Unicode. Can you tell me what is Unicode?
Unicode is in zeros and ones.
Yeah, but I have given you some more means I've shown you the table. Unicode is not only the 0 and 1. There are lot of values are there like an ASCII table. Do you know ASCII value, right?
Yes, sir.
So it is not a 0 and 1 only. There are lot of values are there. Whatever key that you press on the keyboard, for example, suppose this is your keyboard. Okay. Inside this keyboard, you have a lot of keys are there, right? Suppose like this keys are there. When you press this key, internally this key will be convert into your Unicode letter. Okay. So here, so here this keyboard, when you press any key, it will convert into the Unicode, and then system understand what user want to enter it. Okay. What user want to enter or what user want to write it. So this Unicode values are ranges from a different value, not only 0 and 1. They have a wide range of value that is from I think 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. It is in a big range. Yesterday I've shown you, let me show you once again. So you see this value, right? These values are like, you can see it here. These are the different value, 60, 61. These all are having the representation. The unique representation we have for every key that we press on the keyboard, they have a unique representation. You can see this table. Okay. So like this space, when you press this space button, internally it convert into this 32 or this 20. This is the Unicode value that your system understand. For for a human being, we can easily understand that space means giving a space between the character, but how system will understand? System will understand by converting into this Unicode. So Unicode value is not like 0 and 1. Unicode value means it can be any value in the range from 1 to 100, 200, or it can be in any format like an hexadecimal format, decimal format. Do you know what is decimal, hexadecimal? Have you ever worked on it? Do you know about it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is not like 0 and 1. You can see space is equal to 20, exclamatory sign is 21, hash is 23, this dollar sign is 24. So this all having a representation. Similarly, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. In ASCII, you write like this 49, 50, 51, right? I told you the ASCII value. ASCII value ranges from means capital A to Z. The ASCII value will be 65 to 90, means it will be in the range of 65 to 90, means A will be having an ASCII value 65, then B will be 66, C will be 67, like this. The Z value will have a ASCII value 90. This is for capital letter. Okay. If I talk about the lower case, then it is having an ASCII value from 97 to 122. Means small a will having ASCII value 97, small b 98, small c 99, small d 100. This is the ASCII value. Okay, this ASCII value is also called as a Unicode, you can say, because it is understood by your system. Similarly, the value 0 to 9, they will also having an ASCII value ranges in 49 to 57. You can see it here. 0 is represented by 48. Sorry, it will be 48 to 57. 48, 49 will be 1, 50 will be 2, 51 will be 3, until 9. So 9 you can see it is 57, right? So these are the Unicode value, ASCII value or this. So this is used by your system to understand it. Okay. So 83 that you got it, 83. 83 might be the ASCII value of an S. Okay, let me check it here and okay, 64, right? So you can let me show you the ASCII value. Let me rub this. So you can see it here, 83, right? 83 is an ASCII value of S, right? So when I said you the Unicode, that's why it was printing 83. Do you understand now what is Unicode and how you got a 83 when we run this program? Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So let me rub this. So similarly, if you want to check it for other element, like suppose if I want to check for A, so I told you that ASCII codes start from 65, right? And for small, it is start from 97. So what will be the ASCII value of A? Let's see this. Now I'm trying for Akshara. So what is present at index 0 in the Akshara name is capital A. Let's see what is the ASCII value or Unicode value of A. So here is capital A, capital having I think 65. Let's see what it is giving. You see here it is giving 65, right? So in this way the Unicode character works. Similarly, you can try it for other function also. Now what is another function? Another function can be your this code point before. You follow this table. I will going to share the link with you. Follow this table. Code point before will going to return Unicode of a character before the specify index. It means that it will going to return the Unicode value of an character before the index that you specify. So suppose if you specify 1, it will going to print it for the before element. Like suppose let's try it. Dissolve function is very useful and they might ask you in the exam this one like which function is used to going to check whether it is blank, whether it is an empty or this. So here you see it when you write code point at 2, that is your I. So when you want to check it, what will be the, oh, sorry, that is S here. It is a variable. So at index 2, what is present? S. So it will going to give you the ASCII value of A and K. Okay. A and K ASCII value. So what will be the ASCII value of A and K? A will be your 65, right? You can see K value will be your 75, right? And what we have seen it here that it will going to return. Okay, let me what function I use it 1 minute. Okay, code pointer at I use the same function. Okay, yes, sir. So here when I going to check it for S here for this S, and this is a small one, right? So this is a small one S will having an ASCII value 115. You can check it here also. Small s will be this one. You can check 115, right? So this small ASCII value, right? Now let run for that another function, that code point before. Snigdha, have you run this code in your system? Snigdha, do you run this code on your system?
Should I run it now, sir?
You okay? Okay, yeah. Just 1 minute. Let me do this function, then we can have a look on your system. Means we will going to do it on your system.
I already understood how it works though.
Okay. But did you check whether it was giving output or not?
Yes.
Okay. So let's try with the another function. That is what you can try for this function code point before. Okay, so I'm trying this code point before here, and run this. So for before 2 what is present? Okay, you check it for let's check it in the Snigdha b variable, and in b the index 2 is I, so it will going to show you for the value n. So let's see what is an ASCII value of small n. You can see the ASCII value of small n is 110, right? And as per the definition I said you that this code point before function is used for what? It is used to print the Unicode character of the element which is before the specify index. If you specify 2 here, it will going to print it for 1. If you specify 1, it will going to print it for a 0. So you can use this one, this function, and here they are doing the same. Okay, code point before for 2 it is printing 110. So you can run these different functions. As we have seen it here, there are a lot of different string functions are available in Java programming. You can try this different method. This all method will going to perform operation on the variable that the value that you are using it. So character add, code point add, compare to, compare, ignore case, compare by ignoring the lower case, small case. You can concatenate it. You can concatenate two functions also. Let's see that. If you don't remember, you can simply use it here, where suggestion of the function, and let's try it. So when I will going to run it, let's see what they are keeping. So you see that it has concatenated both of your name, right? Means I took b dot concatenate, so it will going to concatenate the value of string variable a to this. So this concatenate function is used for concatenate the value of two variable. Similarly, you can do it for a cross b also, with changing the variable a to b. Here you take a and here you take b and run this. See, so hope you have understand these are the different function. I'm going to share the link with you. Just try this function by running this all function on your system. Okay, so let's see Snigdha on your system. Will you share your screen? Snigdha, will you share your screen? I'm just stop sharing my screen.
So can I run it on BlueJ?
Uh, yeah, okay. Don't you have an Eclipse?
I do so, but it's just easier to run on BlueJ since that's how we learned in school. Is that fine?
Okay, yeah.
But I understood how it runs in BlueJ. I understood how it runs in Eclipse too.
Okay, no issue. You can run it. Just my motive is just to make you clear how it run and make you familiar with the different IDE. Okay, so you can use it. I'm just stop sharing my screen. Just give a moment. Okay. Uh, just type system out println. Yes, correct. And type a function. Suppose first declare a variable. Any two variable you declare it. Yeah, before this, yes, correct. Not int, string one you can declare it, because we are working on the string data, right? So string variable you declare, assign a name, any name that you want to assign it. You can assign a name to it, that variable. Yes. Uh, no, assign a value to this name variable. Yeah, any value that your name or your brother name, any name, you can assign it there. Yes. Uh, Specify in a double quotes. Yes, correct. Okay. Now type a name. Yes, type name there, dot length function. So what was the syntax of that? Name dot length, parenthesis sign you give. Yes, correct. Close it. Yeah. Terminate. Yes. Now close the curly braces. Yes. Now run this. So seven you are getting, right? Your name is having seven characters, right?
Yes.
Similarly, you do it for caret function. You know, right? Caret function.
Yes. So caret, you can specify which, like if you say zero, it will be the first one.
Yes.
One will be the second one, like that.
Yes. Means it will give you what element is present at a specified index. So can you try it that also? Just you need to copy this whole line. Okay, yeah. Char at, correct. Yes. Go to that demo void main. Yes, correct. No, no. It's a capital in only. Seven.
So for some reason, it still says 7.
Okay. You give the new name, right? You create a new class. It might be there is some issue in that. You create a, yeah. You copy the whole code there. So it is coming right as. So I think you need to refresh it once, clear it, and then rerun it to it won't come. Yes, now it's. So just try this all program. I'm going to share you the link now. Will you do practice for the other function? No need to run for all the function. Just try it for few more functions so that it will be easy.